Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and today I have set number 75243. This is the LEGO Star Wars Slave 1 20th Anniversary Edition. This set comes with 1007 pieces, 5 minifigures, 6 including Han Solo Frozen Carbonite because it isn't really a figure. But yeah, and the box art has the Slave 1 in the middle with the 20th Anniversary logo on the top right, and then it showcases all the figures on the bottom right, with the exclusive figure being Princess Leia. And then the top of the box just shows you the actual size of Princess Leia, and the back of the box has a bunch of like scenes from the movie and things you could do with the set. Up there is the Slave 1 on Cloud City, and then on the bottom it shows you all the other 20th anniversary figures and the original Slave 1 from 2000, which it's based off of, and then it shows you a bunch of play features. Sorry, that's a little scratched or ripped there, but the top shows you that you can move the wing, you could hold it, and then they have like flick fire missiles in the like front part of the Slave 1. And here are the instructions. It has the Slave 1 in the front with the 20th anniversary logo on the top right. And then it shows you a little bit about like the 20th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars. And it shows you the Slave 1 and then the original one, which it's based off of. And then the next page shows you all the other 20th anniversary sets and a little bit about the Slave 1 with some pictures and scenes from the movie. Then it just shows you how to build it all over there. And then the back part of the instruction manual has the win logo and then piece count, which is actually 3 pages. And then it shows you some more of the sets that came out at the same time, a bunch of sets there and some more there, and then it shows you the figures from some of these sets. And yeah, and then there's just the ad for the LEGO Life app. But that's it for the instructions. And now we will look at the minifigures. And here is the first minifigure, being Han Solo. He has that like brown pants with the belts and buckles. He has his like navy blue shirt with some like shirt detail and pockets, and the back also has some more shirt detail. And then he has his blaster and 2 faces, one being him just like with a smirk, and then the other face him like smiling a little bit, and then he just has his hair. And the next minifigure is Boba Fett. He has all of that armor on his pants and torso, which there's a lot of nice printing. And then on the back there's also some printing with the jetpack, the lime green or whatever sand green jetpack. And then he has his little like cover on his arm, and then he also has his blaster, which is a very cool blaster with those 2 pieces. And then he has his helmet with his little like visor or something, and then he has just his like face like all the other recent Boba Fett's. And the next minifigure is for Lum. He has that nice pants and torso with like all that oil stains and like wires going in between him with that gold. And then he also has his blaster, which is very nice. And then on the back there's also some more wires and buttons and oil stains. And then he has that really cool headpiece. It looks like almost like a bug alien type thing, but it looks very cool. And there's like some like vines and, well, not vines, but like veins and a bunch of detail on his head. And the next minifigure is Zuckuss. He has that new like piece for the curling, not too old, but it is pretty recent. And then he has a bunch of that detail on his front torso and like dress or leg piece with those like armor and vines going up to him so he could breathe, I think. And then he also has his blaster with the telescope piece for the front, which is pretty cool. And there's also some detail on the dress and torso on the back, which is really nice. And there's just a bunch of buttons and straps. And then his headpiece is really cool too. It's almost like an alien bug type thing, where he has this like breathing tube or something, and he has his 2 like bug like eyes, and yeah. And the next minifigure is Princess Leia. And this is actually my first Princess Leia. And this is the original Princess Leia. It's basically a remake. It has the 20th years Lego Star Wars on the back with that very simple shirt detail on the front and that old blaster with the microphone piece. And then she has one face just being her smiling with those red lips. And she also has that really nice hair piece with those two buns on the side. And then she also comes with her 20th anniversary plaque that says Princess Leia, just like all the other ones where it says their name. And here's the last minifigure, I guess you could call it. It's not really a minifigure, but it's Han Solo frozen in carbonite. Very cool. It has Han Solo in the front with those two handles so you could push him. And then it has all those side buttons on each side. Very nice. And the cool thing about this is that you can actually put Han Solo in the back. So if you're displaying this and you don't want to put Han Solo out with the other guys and you want to just put him in here, you can clip him on those two pieces and you can make the guys make him float and push him in the ship just like this. And I think that's a really cool neat thing that you could do with the set. And it just has those like filling pieces for him to get that shape of Han Solo. And here is the Slave 1, and actually before we get into that, this set came with an orange brick separator, and it also came with a sticker sheet including 10 stickers, and some of them are the same, but then some of them are different. But anyways, here is the Slave 1, and this is very cool. It has a lot of nice details and piece usage, and we'll start off with like the back, since the back is has a pretty cool play feature. It has, let me make this higher. There we go. It has on the back a bunch of engine pieces with those like light blue, and then it has those rims around it. And on the bottom, there's also some pipes and two clips, I believe, for the figure's weapons. If you don't want them carrying it, you can put them there. There's two clippers there. And then on the, the top part, there's these two red things for the flick fire missiles, which are on the top right over there. So if you wanted to make them go flying, you just push this down and it goes flying. And then another very cool thing that they added is a handle, and you just lift that, hold it like that, and you could hold it around, make it look like it's flying, which is a very nice detail. And I feel like they could have made it able to stand on it, but it doesn't because there's just so much weight on it. But like 1/3 into the build, I was able to actually let it sit like that, and that was pretty cool. But it's still a very nice feature. And then the top part, or like the top part has that nice red color, and then there's also two stickers there with the gray vents. And then on the back, there's also the red and then some like tan gray. And on the bottom of the Slave 1, you would just pick that up, and you can put Han Solo frozen in the carbonite right in there, close that up. And this actually, if you're picking it up, it doesn't fall out, this thing, and it doesn't open, which is very cool. And you could just open that up, and to get him out, you put your finger underneath and just pull him out like that. Then you could just close that back up. And then there's also the two wing parts in the front. They're basically the same, just flipped. And they're basically the same, just like a different shape, because you had to build it differently because it's on a different side. But when you move the ship, it actually turns to whatever way you're moving it, which is very nice. I'll bring you up so you can kind of see it better. But like when you turn it, it moves with it. Both also on the other side, you move it and it turns with it, which is very cool. So like when it lands, it would go flat, and then when it's in the air, it would fly with it. But yeah, there's just a bunch of detail. I think those are guns or wires, and then there's two stickers there. Same on the other side, and they're just connected right there on that little Tectic piece, and it just spins around. And then there's those two wires on each side that holds it up with that like like that orangey color, which is a pretty cool like color compared to everything else. And then you have those big like half a circle or like 1/4 of a circle pieces, and then there's 2 on each side, and those are very nice pieces, very big, and it makes it pop out the ship. And then it goes into like the front part, which curves out, and there's some sand green pieces to give it some more detail. And then this is where the cockpit is, which is probably one of my favorite parts. It's this big windshield piece, and then you can take it off just like that, and it's just on that 2 studs right there. And then there's just a bunch of controls up there. There's a control there, right there. There's a sticker, and then also on the other side there's also another sticker. And then this is where you would put what's it called, Boba Fett. You can just sit him in there. Let me try to get him in. Well, I'll get that later, but yeah, you could put him right there. Close that up. And what's really cool is that not only do the wings move with it, like I said before, but when you move it up, when you move it up, there you go, the cockpit also moves with it. So when he's flying, he would be like that, and then when he lands, it magically goes right up, which is a very nice detail. And then you could just take him right out. You would open this up and just take him out just like that. And let me just put his visor on. Then you could just put this big piece back, and now we'll look at the side and top part, which has a bunch of detail, which I really like, both on each side. And then there's also just sand green pieces up there to give it some more color. And then this also turns, but it's supposed to be like that. And there's some detail there. Also on the other side, same thing. And then it also comes with these 2 guns, where, like, you know, it would fly and it would move around. You know, you can move it around, which is very cool. And you can move it to whatever position you want it to. And then there's also some nice detail there. And over here where it's connected, and just connected to that, what's called those Technic pieces. But I do really like the guns. I think they're really nice. And then the top part has just a bunch of sand green and 2 stickers there with the dark green, the sand green, then the gray. And then the back just has some detail right there. And yeah, that's basically everything the Slave 1 has. And just also those pieces right there are really cool, where it has it slanted to fit in. And I really like these pieces and the detail over there, and like those pieces and the guns and the cockpit, and a lot of it is just really cool. And this set also comes with a bunch of extra pieces, most of them being for like the Mandalorian with these visors and stuff like that. There's a lot of those. There's also an extra blaster for the ship. And then there's just a bunch of other cool pieces, like this piece. You don't get that in that color very often. And you got these pizza pieces and these like half oval pieces and those rods and like circle pieces and just a bunch of stuff like that. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.